So one of the biggest stories of the NFL Combine is Armand Membou, the Missouri offensive tackle. He had a phenomenal combine. He ran a 4.91 40-yard dash time, weighing 332 pounds. This guy is a freak of nature, and a lot of people are widely regarding him now, following the combine, as the best offensive tackle coming out in the NFL draft. And it's easy, obviously, to understand why if you watched his combine results. Pro Football Network is projecting the 49ers to take Armand Membou in round 1 with their 11th overall pick. And it's obviously easy to understand why. You know, Trent Williams is turning 37 this summer, and their offensive line has been very bad in recent years outside of Trent Williams. Now, obviously, last year, Dom Pooney, great 49ers draft pick. Dom Pooney stepped up big time at right guard and is likely going to be the long-term answer at right guard. But obviously, aside from those two guys, you know, the 49ers need to work on their offensive line, and it would be a very good start by drafting Armand Membou at pick 11. Armand Membou over the years at Missouri, he's been a phenomenal physical offensive lineman. He's got great length, agility, and power. I think one of his knacks before the 2024 college football season was his technique. He didn't really have that great of technique to kind of match his physical traits. But in 2024, he took a big leap with his technique to match those physical traits and those physical tools. And he had a phenomenal season last year at Missouri. And now his draft stock is soaring because I think following the combine, it's safe to say that he is clearly the most athletic offensive tackle coming out in the NFL draft. And he may not be available when the 49ers pick because of those combine results. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, there could be a lot of people that have Armand Membou over LSU's Will Campbell as the best offensive tackle coming out in the draft. And here's the thing. I mean, if the 49ers miss out on taking Armand Membou, and let's just say that he's the first offensive lineman selected in the NFL draft, they could still take Kelvin Banks Jr., the versatile offensive tackle out of Texas. They could also turn their focus and shift their focus to LSU's Will Campbell. A couple of those out of Armand Membou, Kelvin Banks Jr., and Will Campbell, I'm pretty confident that at least one or two of those guys will be available for the 49ers at pick 11. Now, based off of the combine results, Will Campbell and Armand Membou could very well be gone by the time the 49ers go to pick. And if that's the case, obviously then just draft an edge rusher. I still think the 49ers will take an edge rusher. You know, I still think that's probably the best pick for the 49ers at pick 11, but I can't be mad if they take a guy like Armand Membou at pick 11. You know, you're about to pay Brock Purdy all of this money. The offensive line is one of your biggest needs. Outside of Dom Pooney and Trent Williams, you're very thin and in other words, pretty bad on the offensive line side of things. But I mean, let's just say they take a guy like Armand Membou at pick 11, and then they sign Drew Dalman from the Atlanta Falcons in free agency. You now have a very, very talented offensive line. It's going to be interesting to see if the 49ers select him here at pick 11, if he is available. I think it will be tough for the 49ers to pass on him, but it goes both ways. I think there's going to be a lot of elite premier edge rushers at pick 11, and it's going to be hard for the 49ers to probably veer off and go offensive line rather than to take one of the premier edge rushers coming out of the NFL draft. But again, I mean, I've been a big advocate for taking an edge rusher at pick 11. I just think the talent outweighs the offensive line that are going to be available there. But I'm not going to be mad because I understand, that the offensive line is one of our bigger needs. I understand that they're going to be doing it to protect Brock Purdy. This is going to be a potential Trent Williams replacement, or will be a Trent Williams replacement whenever he retires. So I'm not going to be shocked if they do that, and if they take an offensive lineman. Knowing the 49ers, though, I still think they're going to go defensive lineman. I just think again, there's going to be too many good edge rushers that the 49ers will be licking their chops at when they're on the clock at pick 11. So we will see what happens. I'm going to be very intrigued to see if Armand Membou ends up going before Will Campbell following the combine results, because there was no offensive lineman in the NFL draft or in the NFL combine that really took advantage of the opportunity of being at the combine than Armand Membou. And I'm not going to be mad if the Niners take him at number 11. I definitely think he's one of, if not the most prominent offensive tackle now in the NFL draft. So we will see what happens. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Armand Membou in the comments down below. Should the 49ers take him here at pick 11? Do you guys think, based off of his combine results, for those of you who watched, is he the best offensive tackle coming out in the draft? I definitely think he is. I think I would honestly put him, following the combine, I would put him ahead of Will Campbell for the best offensive tackle coming out in the NFL draft. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. As always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.